All right, you guys, so we're going to go over standard deviation really quick. Okay, so in standard deviation, we're given this following equation inside our lab. So if you look at your lab manual and you go to page DD7, it goes over standard deviation. But let's go ahead and do it right here. I'm going to use the same example that it's using to explain standard deviation for us. Okay. Now, what we have, standard deviation is equal to the square root of the sum of, what do we have here? Our data minus what seems to be the average of our data squared divided by the number of data sets we have minus 1. All right, so let's look at this data set here. We're given the following data sets. We're given 7.65 grams, 7.72 grams, and 7.64 grams. Okay. Now, what we need to obtain from these is we're going to have to obtain the average mass. Now, it gives it to us, but we're going to go ahead and do it ourselves. So the average mass is we're going to take all of these, add them together, and divide it by the amount we have. So 7.65 plus 7.72 plus 7.64 divided by 3. Okay, and we get an average mass of 7.67. Okay, now that we have this information, we're going to go ahead and plug it into our standard deviation equation. So the square root of some of these. So we have our first data set, 7.65, minus our average mass that we just obtained of 7.67 squared. And this is the sum of, so we're going to add it to the next data set, which is 7.72, minus our 7.67 squared, plus our third data set, which is 7.64 minus 7.67 squared. All of this we're going to divide by n minus 1, which is the number of data sets we have. We have 1, 2, 3 data sets minus 1. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this into our calculator and see what we get. We get 7.65 minus 7.67 equals to that, and I'm going to square it, and I get 4 times 10 to the negative 4, plus the next data set, which is 7.72 minus 7.67 squared, and I get 0.0025 plus 7.64 minus 7.67 squared, and I get 9 times 10 to the negative 4. All of this is still in a square root, and it's all still with the 3 minus 1, which is just 2. And now I'm going to go ahead and add these together. So I have 4, let's see, where's my button on this one? EE, there it is. 4 EE to the negative 4, okay, plus, and just in case, I'll put the rest of my numbers in parentheses. Some calculators are iffy. 9 EE to the negative 4. Okay, so I get that answer. And I'm just going to go ahead and divide it by 2. And I end up with 0.0019. And if I take the square root of that, of my answer, I get 0.0435 grams as our standard deviation. So the way I would report this then, the mass will be reported as 7.67, which is my average, plus or minus, okay, because it's square root, so plus or minus 0.04. And I'm just going to express this in two significant, actually three, one, two, three significant figures. So I'll leave it as is. All right, I know the video is a little bit short, but I hope it helps. Remember, if you have more data points, you add more data points to this section. You just continue doing the same thing. And the only number that would change is this. So if you add a fourth data point, this will be 4. If you add a fifth data point, this will be 5. All right, hope that helps. Ciao.